Hello, welcome to Godfather Barbecue and Italian. So, listen, folks, today it's Memorial Day weekend, Saturday of Memorial Day weekend, and thinking about easy things for a cookout and whatnot. And as I said in the last video on the New England baked cod, we'd do a peel and eat shrimp video. So it inspired me. We, as I said in the last video, had been down the Keys for a nice long vacation, and I've been going down there for give or take 30 years, mainly fishing, right? It's the best fishing in the world. But so Tina, so I love the fishing. I love the people. I love flying around in helicopters down there because it's the most beautiful landscape as far as water goes and colors. But Tina, you know my fourth favorite thing.
Peel and eat shrimp.
Oh, every restaurant, everywhere we go. Now listen, down there they have what's called Key West Pinks, okay? And it's kind of ironic and interesting because you cannot get them fresh. Okay, so they flash freeze everything on the boat down there. But aside from Atlantic fresh fish, which we are, which is what we have here, they are just an incredible type of shrimp to eat. So they're very special, Key West Pinks. You can actually order them online, or if you're ever down in Florida, especially southern Florida, you can probably find them. Most menus serve them in the restaurants hot or cold. Cold meaning chilled, hot meaning with drawn butter. I like them hot, but at any rate, I'm going to recreate that up here after trying the several different ways. I've pretty much nailed it, and I've talked to some chefs and restaurants down there how they do it, and this is basically it. Okay, aside from the seasoning, I do have some Key West seasoning I brought back, but most folks are going to deal with a common seasoning. Old Bay, for instance, in New England, this is very popular. But use whatever you have, but just use something. Okay, so I'm going to run through this. These are from, I mean, Cape Cod. This is, I say this in every video that I do seafood in. We are blessed. The freshest, most predominantly delicious seafood available. These are what we call U16s, Tina. So basically, you know what the U means, right? So, yeah.
I don't think I officially know.
Oh, that's okay. I was hoping I could ask you a question you didn't know the answer to. So these are what they call U16s, U16s/20. So if you get a package of shrimp or you look at shrimp, there's going to be what they call a count. So it's usually 16 to 20, 20 to 23. That means how many per pound there are. So there's approximately 16 to 20 of these per pound. These are about as big as you want to use for peel and eats, okay? But they're the perfect size if you can find them. On that note, if you're elsewhere in the country or the world, very important, um, try not to use, and now if you don't have any choice, I understand, try not to use farm-raised shrimp, okay? Get something, even if it's frozen, wild frozen, flash frozen, fresh frozen. Okay, the fresher the better for here. It's a discernible difference. Okay, now the next discernible difference is what you cook them in. You can do this in water, and there's no problem. I'm just as happy with them in water, but there is a measurable difference cooking them in beer. Okay, so we're gonna boil these today in beer. I have Corona. It really doesn't matter. I don't think a light beer, I mean, you could use it. That's not going to hurt it. It's still going to get the flavor. But I would use something with some body. So a couple Coronas here. And you just want enough to cover the shrimp. Okay, so there's no right measurement. I've got 2 pounds here. So I'm going to use about a quart per pound, give or take, as far as how much I put in the pot. Okay. As far as seasoning goes, again, as I said, I'm using Old Bay. You can use a Cajun type. They have Cajun boil seasonings they sell. You don't have to use anything, but I recommend using something, even a barbecue rub or just a flavor you like, just something to enhance it, okay? Butter. So we're going to use, oh, and by the way, this, if you're using Old Bay or any type of Key West seasoning or anything like that, about one heaping teaspoon per pound of shrimp, okay? Um, I like to put about a half a stick of about a quarter stick per pound of butter into the beer or the water I'm cooking it with, okay? And I'm going to take one lemon slice it up, and put it in there as well. So Tina, like this is simple, easy, delicious. Like the kids go crazy for this.
No,
They really, I mean, you should see them down there. We had a big house in the Keys and beautiful over the pool, and just about every night I think we made peel and eat shrimp, and a couple times I think there might have been almost a couple fist fights about trying to get to it, right? So I hope this makes your Memorial Day weekend, or any weekend for that matter, or any barbecue or something to add, or this is just even a nice something to go with dinner, or even a full dinner if you're hungry. Just make a bunch of it. All right, so we're gonna get this going. I'm gonna start with boiling this beer, and we'll see at that point. All right, so one quick thing: you want to make sure that you bring the beer or your water to a boil before we add everything in. And you can do it not this way, but I just feel as though there's less apt for anything to clump up, especially your seasoning. All right, so we got some. Oh, you should smell that beer, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So again, I'm gonna go in with my 2 heaping tablespoons of Old Bay. All right. Now, I am going to add a touch of salt, maybe a teaspoon of salt. My lemons, sliced lemons, just throw them in there. And my butter. Now I'm going to bring that back up to a boil. And I want that to boil for 3 to 5 minutes, just so everything's incorporated. I'll give it a nice stir before I put the shrimp in. And it's that simple, right? Simple, easy, delicious. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil, 3 to 5 minutes. We'll see when it's time to add the shrimp. All right, so I've let this boil for about 5 minutes. Again, just to incorporate everything, almost make like a little stock, okay? That way the flavors are distributed. And again, does it matter? I don't know, but I feel like it would, so I do that. Okay, I want to keep this on a high, if you could, on a high boil, and I'll explain why in a second after I put these shrimp in, because it's kind of a unique process. So I'm going to go ahead, carefully add those in. Do not burn yourselves. I'm going to just make sure they're all covered. And you know how we cook them from here, Tina?
Low and slow?
Nope.
No. Fast and quick?
Nope.
I don't know.
All right. So from here, I'm going to shut the heat off. I'm going to put a lid on. And in 3 minutes, we're going to have some peel and eat shrimp. In the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and get my butter ready, or your cocktail sauce, or whatever you have. And you can have it with either, or you can have them just plain, okay? But we'll see you in 3 minutes.
Okay.
All right, so we're just over 3 minutes. Now, here's the thing with this. This is kind of a nice method because it's a little bit harder, but not too much harder to overcook them, okay? The worst thing you want is overcooked shrimp for this. But a couple of telltale signs is you can see how they're starting to float. That's a good sign. They've become kind of orange or pink. So that leads me to believe they're done. If you're not sure, take one out. Peel it a little bit. Make sure it's white. There's no opaque in there. There's nothing clear. As long as it's white, you're good, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and scoop these out. And what we're going to do is, as we're, and it's okay to take some lemons with you if you end up, I'm going to make like layers of this. Not that we have a million shrimp, but like this. And then, Tina, I'm going to, as we scoop it in, we're going to season them with whatever seasoning you used or what have you on the outside of the shell.
Sounds good.
It's nice and fresh, right? These shrimp are, there is nothing like fresh fish in general, but shrimp especially, for some reason, I mean, you can definitely feel or taste the difference, okay? Yeah, a little bit more. Don't go crazy with this, just enough to, so your fingers get it, and as you're eating through them, they get on the next piece, and so on and so forth, right? All right, Tina. So here we go. We're living the keys all over again, right?
Sort of.
Yeah. See what we think of these. You know how to do this, you remember? In the middle. Oh, these are cooked perfect. I can feel the way they peel. Make sure you get everything. There's nothing worse than a piece of shrimp shell.
Shell in there.
There you go. One in the middle there. All right. You like butter, right?
I love
Do you,
butter.
you prefer cocktail sauce?
Oh, in that regards, I don't know.
If they're cold,
if
maybe,
they're cold,
right?
I like
Yeah. So again,
cocktail sauce, but
you can eat these hot or cold. I can feel the way. See the way they bend? These are cooked perfectly. 3 minutes, folks.
yeah, that's crazy to me. I didn't realize that you just shut the thing off.
Mm.
Good.
Yeah, and the freshness of the shrimp. I keep going back to fresh. But you can taste everything in that. You can taste the beer, but not in a funky way. It tastes good because the alcohol is boiled out.
Very good.
Mm.
I like the Old Bay. Gives it a little pizzazz.
So I think that's definitely a cookout hit. I mean, that'd be nice to have as an appetizer. Serve along with your burgers and dogs or what have you, just a big bowl like that.
Yep. It's different than your traditional just shrimp cocktail.
Mm. And our kids like it cold. So again, hot or cold, cocktail sauce or butter. It's all up to you. Sorry, speaking with my mouth full. It's part of the job, right? But thank you so much again. If you like what you see, like, share, and subscribe. And we're going to see you real soon for another great one. Probably another seafood one, I think.
You did say we are going to go down that path.
Just maybe one more.
Okay.
Thanks again, folks. Have a great Memorial Day weekend.